Hey, you all. A couple of nights ago, the Holy Spirit gave me a word to share to my wife, and that word was specifically that the Lord was going to start giving her dreams about world events. And it just came out of nowhere, just a random word. I just felt the unction to share it with her, so I did. So I told her that the Lord is going to start giving you dreams about world events. So later that night, she actually had two dreams about world events. My wife actually had several dreams that night, but two of them were specifically about world events, things to come. Okay, so one of those dreams was this, and I'm going to try to paraphrase and explain it the best that I can from what she shared with me. She told me that she was inside of a building. The building was completely empty. Nothing was in it at all. And she happened to go to a window, and she looked outside of the window, and there was a lot of Mexicans standing outside. And she was wondering to herself, why is all these people just standing outside? And she knows specifically in the dream that they were Mexicans. So as the dream shifted back inside, it was no longer empty. The place where she was at was just filled with people. And she said specifically in the dream, people were dining. It was like they were sitting down, eating, and it became like a restaurant, just filled with different people just sitting down eating. And it got so overcrowded that she actually left. So that was the dream. And I shared that dream with you all today because tonight my wife came across an article that is the reality of that dream that she had. And I'm going to share this article with you here. This is an article that's on Reuters.com. The title of the article is the title of the article reads, "More Mexican Beef Headed to U.S. Dinner Tables as American Supply Crunch Bites." Now, let me read you just a starting paragraph of this article here. It says, "More Mexican steaks and other beef cuts are headed north of the border after the coronavirus outbreak has hobbled U.S. meat processing plants, potentially offsetting fears of shortages affecting businesses from fast food chains to grocery stores." Now, let me relate that dream to reality, that dream to what's going on just 2 days later here in this article. Okay, so in interpreting the dream and making it relate to what's going on here in these current events now. Okay, this dream started, my wife was in an empty building. And this empty building, what's that representing in the dream is representing the shortages of meat here in the United States. That's what the empty building is representing, the shortage of meat supply here in the United States because of the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, she went to the window, she's seeing Mexicans. And the Mexicans that she was seeing is representing that this supply of meat, steaks and beef from Mexico. So the Mexicans that she was seeing out of the window is representing the supply of meat that's going to be coming from Mexico. Okay, so when the dream shifted, she's seeing people, all different types of people inside dining. So what's that representing is that, this, the meat that's coming from Mexico is gonna, be brought back to the grocery stores, fast food restaurants, regular restaurants, what have you, where, it's not going to be any more of a shortage and people are going to be able to eat. People are going to be able to sit and dine because this meat is coming from Mexico to the United States. So to prevent this shortage from continuing. So I just thought I'd share that with you all, just to show you how just awesome how dreams are and how God uses dreams prophetically. You know, in the book of Joel, he told us that in the last days he was going to pour out his spirit upon all flesh. People was going to prophesy. Some people was going to dream dreams. Well, dreams are very prophetic. It's a way in which God gets our complete attention. Because we're asleep. So, our attention is not focused on other things that our minds are typically focused on. God has our undivided attention when we're asleep. And a lot of times he gives us these messages in our sleep, these prophecies in our sleep, and he gives us, he gives some of us the ability to interpret these messages. So, I just wanted to share that with you all because that was just a awesome example of that. How, first of all, when God says something, it comes to pass, and, just how great he uses dreams to reveal things that are to come. Now, that was the first dream. The second dream my wife had was this. She said she was there was a lot of people, a lot of aggression going on, a lot of chaos. There was people waiting out, a lot of people waiting outside of an elevator, and there was a lot of people inside of the elevator, and the people outside the elevator were trying to get inside, but the people inside the elevator did not want them to come inside. And she said in the dream, one couple actually. One man got in there, another lady tried to follow him, and they actually both, basically kind of having a tug of war as she had, tried to, stop the elevator with her hand or whatever, or what have you. And, it was kind of like a tug of war, and it was like a window behind them, and they both fell out of the window. So yesterday I was asking the Lord, what is the meaning of this dream? And the Holy Spirit dropped in my mind that this is about people trying to get into the country. And more specifically, this dream was about people trying to get into the country, whereas some people were trying to aggressively get into the country. There's going to be a lot of people that's not going to want them here. So this is a dream basically about immigrants, maybe specifically immigrants, how they're trying to get into the country here, and they're desperate, they're aggressively trying to get here, but at the same time, a lot of people are aggressively trying to keep them from getting here, and it's a lot of chaos. And I believe that this dream is, as it may be some of that happening now, I believe that as time goes forward, we're going to hear a lot more about that in the news. We're going to hear a lot more about how chaotic this situation is. I'm not sure if it's just about at the border or what, but we're going to hear a lot of things about pandemonium going on concerning people. Basically the tug of war, the fight for people to get into the country and the fight to keep people out. So that's all I'm just going to share with you all concerning these dreams. If you all have a dream that you would like to share, and it's just been heavy on your heart, heavy on your mind, and you would like the interpretation of it, feel free to send us an email to ichurchsocial@gmail.com. As the Lord leads and gives me the understanding, I would definitely share that understanding of that dream with you. Y'all be blessed.